sponsor it.
Yeah, gotta be fresh.
All right, so we are talking about difficult clients today, and I've been working in this field for 15 years, 16 years, something like that. No longer than that, like 17 or 18 years at this point. So that's thousands and thousands of clients that I've interacted with, and I've definitely learned some tips, I guess, for myself that I try to pass on, some things that work and don't work. But at the end of the day, people are people, and you're not going to get along with everybody by a long shot, and you're also going to meet people who have other preconceived notions of what your job is, and can often make you feel completely devalued and discounted in your profession of choice, which is really lovely. But most of us at this point not only have bachelor's degrees, but also master's degrees, and really some highly specialized information that your general client does not possess. So we kind of want to talk today, in particular, Hunter and I, because he is the youngest, I guess, on the staff, and has had the deep pleasure of working with some extremely challenging clients lately. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I started training really early, so it's a huge part of my life. And I guess because I haven't been in the field for, 18 years like Sarah has, I have a hard time when people don't, I guess, understand the importance or don't give a lot of effort when they're here, or just don't value the service, I guess we'll say that we're giving them. And given that, again, like Sarah said, I'm the youngest on the staff, I may not be mature enough at times to deal with those situations.
Yeah. And you would like to think that, certainly in this situation, like, it's not college, it's not the fire academy where they're forced to be there.
Right.
People are paying to come here.
Right.
So why on earth would you pay money for something that either you don't want to do or that you apparently completely don't believe in, find value in? But we have those people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I guess I'm interested in knowing a little bit about your evolution from, because you've been around for about 2 years now, I think. Is that right?
A little more than that.
Okay. So just maybe where you were, and then where you feel like you are now,
Yeah.
and where you think you still have to go.
I think at the beginning, I had a really hard time understanding it. Like, I couldn't wrap my head around people's attitude towards their training.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't understand. They didn't think it was like the most important thing
Right.
ever. Or like when it's athletes that are coming in, how they don't think that their sport is like the most important thing. They have to put all their effort in.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I was. So I had a hard time understanding. So usually my way to deal with that was just walking away.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to say. I couldn't even comprehend what was going on in the first place. And you guys have helped me out a lot with this moving forward, because it probably took longer than it should have to start being able to be a little more understanding with those clients. To where now I try to figure out what they want from me.
Yeah.
So some people with that attitude don't want to hear from me very much. So I only go over to them if there's something really wrong, and they kind of figure out the value as they go. They start feeling better, they start looking better, they start performing better, whatever it is. And some want a lot of attention. So that's why I go. I just try to be as nice as I can, try to encourage them as much as I'm kind of perceiving they want, and then just move from there. But at the beginning, I didn't know what to do. I couldn't understand it myself, so I had no way of trying to understand what they would feel.
Yeah. And do you feel like now, like, that you're there, like you've got it?
No,
Yeah. Okay.
absolutely not. No, we're still working on
So
that.
what still bothers you?
A lot of times it's the kids, because I I wish there was a place like this
Right.
for me when I was
Right.
still competing in sports coming up. There wasn't. I had to learn it myself. There was nowhere for me to go in our area. So I had weights in the garage.
Yeah.
Just kind of did stuff until maybe it helped, maybe it didn't, maybe it got hurt, maybe I didn't. So like that still bothers me a lot with them because they don't care. And with the athletes, I'm still trying to work my way into understanding. Adults are better.
Yeah.
They have a life. They have other things they would like to do. And now I can begin to start understanding that.
Right.
The kids are still tough
Yeah.
for me. Just they could have free college.
Yeah.
If they really put effort in.
Yeah.
And it's the lack of effort more than anything.
Yeah.
That gets me.
So one of the things that I always try to do is you try to meet people where they are, right? And try to remember that even the kids have a day before they come in to see us, and I don't know this, but I'm certain, again, just via the numbers that we've seen over the years, that we've worked with people who are having really terrible things, go on outside of their time with us here that could absolutely be impacting their level of effort, their attitude towards us, towards the building, I don't know what. And so that helps me quite a bit, because I try to remember that it's not about me, If they come in and they're all sour and whatnot, chances are it has really nothing to do with me. However, and I don't know if this is, my change of perspective over the years, or if it's truly that the population is changing in terms of who they are and who we're seeing. I kind of think it's a little of both, in that I am quite a bit older and I really have less tolerance for bullshit. But I also think that there is some changing in the way that kids are being raised now. And I say that because the understanding where they're coming from doesn't always get it anymore, right? Like, sometimes we get clients who, they may just not be good people. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else to say, to be completely honest. And it's different. It's very different when this is a child versus an adult. The adults kind of work their way out of the system, ultimately.
Right. Yeah.
If they don't, The kids, though, are a little bit different, because you see so often, and maybe I should take back the not very good person thing. Maybe it's too much driven by the parents, okay?
Yeah.
But they're presenting a child who is really not pleasurable to work with whatsoever for another adult.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's where I'm really trying to get to, is that I think that even compared to 10 and 12 years ago, 8 years ago, 5 years ago, we are getting kids who are round pegs that their parents are trying to shove into that square hole. And they don't want to be here. That is crystal clear. But they bring with them an attitude that I've not seen before, and that's, I know, what you guys have been experiencing. I think more than I've ever heard before in the notes that I get. We've not ever had this incidence of just kids who are not listening, continually being disrespectful to the coaches.
Yeah.
And this is where, I'm just wondering, what is happening at home?
Yeah.
So anyhow, in those cases, what do you do? Because I know you've had some repeat offenders of just being disrespectful.
I guess it has to depend on the kid. Like, I can't talk to a 14-year-old male the same way I can a female
Right.
when they're that age. I mean, even if the disrespect level is the same, it's just not going to work. 'Cause, I I'm still wanting them to start liking training.
Right.
That's still the end.
Right.
So I guess it depends on the person. Like, if it's continual, like I will have to pull them aside and we'll have to have a conversation. That just doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to do that to you. You can't do that to me.
Yeah.
The other clients. So anything you need to say to me, let's go ahead and get this out now. Like, what's going on? What do you need from me to make this better?
Yeah.
I just try and run with whatever they say.
Yeah, because the thing that you also have to balance here is that, you know, this is not the fire academy. This is not high school where who cares if they come or don't care.
Yeah.
They are clients. And I am especially going to have a problem, you know, if I get feedback about one of these interactions and I don't care, you know, right? Like, so it's a whole balancing act.
Yeah, it is.
I will empathize or sympathize with you on what you're having to deal with, but if you handle it wrong and we lose a client, like that will be a major problem.
Right.
So,
Right.
so there's a lot of, you know, there's just a lot to balance in that. You know, I think, and we heard this when we were talking to Tadashi the other day, like, probably one of the best things that you get from here is learning how to communicate.
Yes.
And I've seen it when you get coaches who are, you know, they've just been in more of an institutional setting for a long time. They don't have the tact or the communication skills to really get people on their side. I think it's rare. I truly think it's rare. You get college strength coaches who were athletes, went into college strength and conditioning and have done nothing else. They're impossible to relate to anybody outside of that specific population, and yet they always think they're right. I said earlier, the soapbox, they're up on their soapbox in their ivory tower, dictating down to all of the losers below, right?
Yeah.
That's not the case, you know? I mean, and so you deal with difficult people, but you always have to keep trying.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's what's hard about what we're saying about sort of these repeat offenders or these whatever is going on with certain kids. It does get hard, but you can't give up. Like, if you give up and you insult this person or you take it to a level that it doesn't need to go to, or you just act unprofessional, what good have we done at that point? You have not helped that person.
Right. Exactly.
And so I think that's, I don't know, that for me is just always something that I'm looking to do, and I don't care if it takes, you know, 3 years. Like, I've talked about this a lot when I get a new team. So like with my college teams, when I got a new team, I would be aware of what their relationship was with their strength coach previously. More often than not, they hated this person. You know, I don't know why. I think it was because I had a lot of female teams and they were coached by males who had only been in strength and conditioning at the college level, right? That was oil and water. So anyways, I always knew I was going into a situation with athletes who really didn't like the weight room, you know. They hadn't had good experiences. Same thing with the Mystics, you know, like they had not generally had good experiences from their college days. So I always would give myself about a 3-year plan to get the team on board with me. That's never failed, okay, like ever. But mostly because I gave myself such long leeway to build those relationships. So during those first year, you know, that first year in particular of getting a team to know me, and you can apply this to new clients, right? Like difficult clients, you fucking insult me. Like, I don't care, you know, I don't care because I know where you are right now and I'm somewhere else, and this isn't about me. This is about your past experiences. This is about whatever else is going on in your day. You know, so I just wouldn't let that affect me. I would just continue to bring positivity. I would continue to bring, like you're saying, this idea of how can I meet them exactly where they are? How can I give them what they need from me? And if you do that long enough, you know, you get them where you want them to be, and then they'll do what you want anyways, which gets us to, you know, the whole point of training. So
that was the big one for me, was not focusing on what they were doing. Because I mean, if they've been constantly difficult, they're going to be like that for a while. It's like, okay, I obviously didn't do something right here today, so let's not do that again. Let's try and tweak this and figure out what would work better.
Right.
And just like you said with the 3-year plan, once we have enough sessions, I've crossed out enough things that I can start
Right.
molding the way they want to get coached.
Yeah.
And make sure I do that each time.
Yeah, like it would be amazing if everybody that came here was of your perspective, right? Or of my perspective, which is like, why would you go if you're not going to give it your all? Why would you sign up if you're not going to complete your package?
Right,
And yet we
yeah.
get that all the time,
All the
right?
time.
So it would be amazing if that's where everybody started. But I would say like 15% of new clients start there. Maybe, yeah.
We just had one and it was the best day of my life.
Yeah.
It was awesome. But yeah, it's so
Yeah,
rare.
it's rare.
Yeah.
It's rare. So you have to work people towards that, and
Yeah.
sometimes it can take, ages.
Sometimes it takes. We had one that started difficult. It took 10 sessions, I think.
Yeah.
And he finally started coming around.
Mhm.
And sometimes it takes 30, maybe more. It just it's either a little faster or a little slower.
Yeah.
But I think this setting, like you were talking about college, this setting really benefits growing that skill because we see so many different types of people.
Yeah.
So like I'm having to practice all the time, changing the way that I'm, coaching or talking to clients.
Right.
Some people don't want to talk about what's going on in their
Yeah.
life at all. They just want to train and leave.
Yeah.
Others want to tell me everything that's ever gone on in their life, ever. And you just kind of, just like you said, meet them where they're at, give them what they want. And
Yeah.
give them where they're at.
Yeah. All right. I think we've probably got like 2 minutes left on that. 3 minutes. Any words of wisdom that you haven't shared yet?
I don't know if I'm the one to look to on this subject for words of wisdom. I mean, it really helped when you and Ryan sat me down and talked to me about it more. Because it was just probably, I guess you would agree, the biggest thing I was lacking coaching moving forward. And you guys have helped me so much in my development that you just saw that was the case. And you needed to
Yeah,
start
I mean,
to-
we felt like it was, you weren't quite being you yet in the way that we know you are. And that was what the clients needed. And so, yeah, I think that's probably a fair point to maybe finish on. Is just, it doesn't matter what your personality is like a personality will fit with anybody.
Right.
I think quiet people, tend to think they need to be loud or need to be forceful when they don't.
Right.
You just be you.
Yeah.
And just like you're building any relationship, that's what your clients want, is they want to see who you are. And that's what we had sort of decided was what was missing. It was almost you,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But not the you that we felt like would be most effective.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Did we make it?